Hey guys, SilverCrafter008 here, and welcome to a miscellaneous Minecraft video. Today I thought I would show off, and this was back in 1.5 Minecraft. I thought I would show off my first Minecraft world ever. So yeah, guys, this is my first Minecraft world ever. When I first started Minecraft, I clicked onto this world, and I spawned somewhere, like, way over that way, in, like, a forest that way. There's a forest right there, but it wasn't that one. It was all the way over there. And I tried to build a house there, and it just didn't work out. And I journeyed over here, and what met me was this giant, like, canyon thing with all these mountains and this awesome waterfall. I was amazed by it. So this is where I built this giant complex. And just in case you're wondering, I have a skin right here, like a different one. If I could just take off some of my armor, right there. Probably be wearing this for a little while. I'm probably gonna modify it some, but that's my skin for right now. Throw on all that armor. So yeah, this is just a tour of my first Minecraft world. So I guess I'll start out with what I built first. So, what I built very first in this world, and it didn't look all like this, it looked different. I didn't add any modifications. I literally just started making this video the second I logged on to this world. So, let's begin. Alright, so, this is the main house, and from, like, the beginning, it was just this room. Like, there was nothing else. There was this room and my bedroom, and then that was, like, it. That was, it was a smaller house before I kind of expanded it that way. So, this is, see, I put Silver Emerald, because that's what I used to be called, was Silver Emerald. A little bit of, SilverCrafter history. I used to be called Silver Emerald on, like, every Minecraft world. And, a bunch of miscellaneous stuff that I built up over the years. Yeah, and then that's supposed to be, like, a cabinet right there, my little, chair where I could sit. And this was 1.5, so there wasn't everything. And then these were my two, like, random precious blocks that I found. I found this randomly by naturally spawning sheep right here. And then, of course, this I made myself, so it took a bit of working on. Obviously, this is my bed. Obviously, if it's a bedroom, you're going to need a bed. So, then I had this epic idea, because this was in a cave. This is my favorite painting in Minecraft, and once again, a little known fact. So yeah, there you go. That's my bit of an overview here. This is my DJ area. You can, like, dance on the dance floor here, and then you have, and then you would have, you know, your DJ stand right here, where you could look over it, like, you know, play the beats and stuff. And I'm probably going to start adding some, I'm going to start playing on this world a bit more and adding some new 1.3 and 1.4 stuff. This is my storage room where I keep, like, all of my stuff. This is, like, all my mining adventures. This is just old stuff I don't really need. And this is another version of this. And then this is a second, like, minerals mining trips chest. And then this is my kitchen. Had a sink there. Water physics used to be a lot different, so that's why it's all messed up. But yeah, it's my sink. And then cake. And on, like, this episode, I'll eat a bit more of the cake, but, you know, don't want to eat too much, because after all, it's survival, and because it's an old world, I can't update it very much, so I can't be in creative, so I want to conserve that. This is just basically anything I have to do with cooking. Go ahead and throw some of this in there while I'm here. Anything that has to do with killing animals or cooking, some coal in there. Out here, this was remember, this is when I first started Minecraft when I was like 8 years old. So the way this works is there are some arrows, so there's 4. You jump on this wooden pressure plate, and boop. And this was meant to kill mobs, so yeah. And then this was, like, my deck where I could kill mobs off of. This was my original, like, making area, iron. I tried putting some netherrack in there, and my house burnt down somehow, even though it's entirely brick right there. It still burnt down, so my old self decided to put some torches. And this is Fort Alpha. These are all, like, alpha, like, forts with, like, Greek names. This is to Fort Gamma in the Sky Cabin, so let's get moving. Here we have just a big sky bridge. Nothing special. Big sky bridge. Then you get to Fort Gamma here. I don't think there's anything. Yeah, there's a few things in here. A bed. That was meant if I ever played on land or something. Even though land didn't really exist back then, I just decided if somehow I could ever play with anybody else on here, then they could stay there if they wanted. So if we go up all these ladders, then we'll go up to the top of this awesome looking mountain, you know, where it's kind of thinner at the bottom. That cool looking one, and get a nice overview of this is probably the best view. And the reason I called it the Sky Cabin was back then, when clouds were like less high, they would actually pass through the house, but that doesn't happen anymore, so. There you go. It's a quick overview. This is the Sky Cabin. Come here. Just bed. Not very much. Nothing in the furnace or anything. You jump up here, and then you have sky deck. Of some sort. So, then there's a door right there. Not too much here, but, you know, I thought it was pretty cool. So, if we head back down, I will show you the other forts, and trust me, there are a lot. So, luckily, I turned it on peaceful for this video, so no monsters will be like attacking us during this video, which is good. So, this is always a shortcut I took if I wanted to, you know, save time. And you don't take too much damage if you pull it off properly. So, see, I'm already back to full health from that shortcut. So, this is Fort Beta right here. This was meant to be a monster fighting hold. But this was obviously the second fort I built. I just went alphabetically through through like Greek letters, and this was the second one I built. So this was meant to be a fort to hold off monsters from my original house up there, because I seemed to have problems of monsters like getting up there when it was just stairs. I figured out they can't get off the ladders very well, so when it was stairs, they would come up there and they would like chase me. So I decided I would have this. And now that with the new update, I'm going to try to build some iron golems around here and turn this into the dream I always wanted it to be with some of the new Minecraft stuff. So here we have Fort Zeta down here. This is probably the smallest fort. You just follow this underground tunnel, this long winding tunnel, and then this is where you can also Fort Zeta. I'm not even sure if there's anything in here. Yeah, no. It's literally just this. I meant to be kind of like a holdout area, like a bunker, and then a little ground window thingy. You get on here, and this, guys, I kid you not, was made by Herobrine. And you're probably like, what the frick? Herobrine doesn't actually exist in Minecraft. Well, he does, because when I came down here, this was a perfect 2x2 tunnel right here, and it goes farther that way. It's a perfect 2x2 tunnel. And that just doesn't happen. So this is my little Herobrine tunnel. And if you go up here, which also you can get in through here. See, that was where we got into. There is the ground window. This is Fort Epsilon. So if we go in here, you'll see this was my mining outpost, my cobble mining outpost, that's outside the camp, and then this was made for mining cobble and standard stuff, no ores or anything, just cobble. This is Fort Delta back here. That's a waterfall outside, and you know, I'd put that there, and some like windows here to show the outside of the park or camp, as you may call it. This is like the very edge right here. This is Lake Silver. Goes out, and then I'm not going to show you that because literally it's just hollow. What you see is what you get, and that is just the Silver Guard Tower. That's what it's called. And this hollow blocky tower. That's all it is. What you see right there is all there is. And I don't really need to build a boat right now. If you go down here, you will see currents. Get down there. Okay. You will see this is Lake Neptune. Not Lake Fort Neptune. Little bed and like painting It's meant to be underwater, but it's not very well hidden. Come out of here. This is the pier right here. So this is Fort Neptune, as you can see. This is my little pier. This is literally nothing more than a little experiment I did, and then this is my ghetto minecart track right here that doesn't really work very well. So if we go down here, I literally, all this was me before I made Fort Neptune, trying out some of the old water physics. Like, they're different now, but the old water physics I had to tinker around with a bit to get bases to work underwater. So that's basically what this entire thing was. So the water doesn't want me to go down. Alright, this is just a bunker. Nothing. Literally nothing. That was just a testing experiment. If we go in here, this place doesn't really have very much of a name, but it just says to the Nether. I called this Fort Nether now. So yeah, decorated out with, some Nether stuff there. We're gonna go in creative to cover this faster, but I guess the last thing in this little area here would be, well, in this area of the camp. I call this the camp, this big canyon area, because it's just so populated here. Like, I have buildings everywhere, towers everywhere, all kinds of stuff. So, there's also the observatory up here. Basically a big glass building. You can see who's coming in and out of the gates. This I call the gates to the camp. Kind of see my house over that, but because of the general way this was built, I decided this could be like, that's the observatory from Fort Epsilon. I decided this should be, my entrance. I used to get kind of like Jurassic Park vibes from that big gate right there. So, yeah. This was all made in 1.5. This was a long time ago, so stuff isn't like as advanced. And then this is my mine right here. I put that there just so that I could remember it. And yeah, should probably add some ladders to that. But that's where I mined. There's nothing down there, just broken caves. So nothing to look at down there. This is the guest house. It doesn't have a fort name, it's just the guest house. This is also a place I would want someone to stay if they ever stayed on this area. I guess I'll just go ahead and put some wood in there, someone ever needs it. Little window, along with a bed, which I'll go ahead and sleep. There we go. So, and then if we go up here, we have this area, which is a second floor with nothing in it. Once again, so some stairs right there, which you saw. So, pretty cool house. And then there was out here. I can't even remember. Yeah, see, that was that's hollow, so I'm not gonna go up there. That was my attempt at a tree house, but it didn't really, not really a tree house, just like a sky house, floating house. And that was like a long time ago, like when 1.6 first came out, and I just never finished it, because that's when I decided to move on to different worlds. And then that was never finished either. That was going to be a place called Fort Epsilon, okay. But I never got to finishing it, so it never really ended up being anything. Otherwise, that would have been a pretty cool fort. Actually, that is about all for this tour. After all, it's nothing really else left to go over. So yeah, it's the Silvercrafter. See you guys next time. Peace.